Hello, and welcome again to Not Fake News. You know George Soros, right? Yeah, it's a good picture of him. I have two breaking stories. One from Paris Wade. Neil Gorsuch just looked Lindsey Graham in the eyes and said one thing on abortion that's shocking the nation. And Comey got crushed. What Wikileaks leaked this morning proves James Comey is a liar. Oh no. Let's get right into this one. President Trump said during the campaign that he would put people on the Supreme Court that would overrule Roe versus Wade and give abortion rights to the states. Senator Lindsey Graham asked Gorsuch if he would overturn Roe versus Wade. Here's the epic moment.
Had you ever met President Trump personally?
Not until my interview.
In that interview, did he ever ask you to overrule Roe v. Wade?
No, Senator.
What would he have done if he'd asked?
Senator, I would have walked out the door. It's not what judges do. They don't do it at that end of Pennsylvania Avenue, and they shouldn't do it at this end either, respectfully.
Oh man. Shut down. Here is how Gorsuch responded. Senator, I would have walked out of the door. Neil Gorsuch is an awesome man, and we will be an awesome and will. Okay, back it up, right? Sometimes they make mistakes when they write it, so it's hard. Neil Gorsuch is an awesome man and will be an awesome president. Okay. I know that we don't want Roe versus Wade to stand, but Neil Gorsuch answered this question perfectly. Me, I'm neutral to the whole thing. I think girls, there should be a certain point. I don't know if government should be. I think every state should allow abortions, right? But only like in the first or second, however, early trimester. Anyway, let's see what this is. Senator, I would have walked out the door. Maybe it's just a repeat.
Had you ever met President Trump personally?
Not until my interview.
In that interview, did he ever ask you to overrule Roe v. Wade?
No, Senator.
What would he have done if he'd asked?
Senator, I would have walked out the door. It's not what judges do. They don't do it at that end of Pennsylvania Avenue, and they shouldn't do it at this end either, respectfully.
Okay. Supreme Court justices are not supposed to be beholden to the president. They are supposed to be upholding the rule of law. Is a different one.
We have a convention against torture and implementing legislation which ban torture. We have the Detainee Treatment Act, which we talked about earlier, which bans cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. We also happen to have an Eighth Amendment.
Well, let me ask you this. Does a president have the right to authorize torture if it violates the laws that have been passed by Congress or the other ones you cited?
Senator, no man is above the law.
Okay. Well, then let me ask you another question. President Bush's warrantless surveillance program, when you were working there, resulted in the illegal collection of thousands of Americans' communications. Now, many of us felt that was a direct violation of our surveillance laws. Justice Department Attorney John Yoo justified the program. He said the statutes passed by Congress cannot infringe the president's inherent power under the Constitution to conduct national security searches. So, do you believe that President Bush's warrantless surveillance program was justified because the president had, quote, inherent power to override our surveillance laws to conduct national security searches?
Senator, as a judge, before I even tried to decide a question like that, I'd want briefs, an argument, and I'd want to go through the whole judicial process. I wouldn't begin to try and attempt to offer an off-the-cuff opinion.
Let me ask a different way. If Congress passed a specific law on surveillance, and if a president said, I'm going to violate that law because I'm president, does he have that power?
No man is above the law, Senator.
Okay. Senator Lee, who was here a minute ago, I don't know if he, Senator Lee and I led efforts to pass the USA Freedom Act to end the NSA bulk collection of Americans' phone records. Had a clear decree from Congress that dragnet collection of Americans' phone records is not permitted. And is it still your answer that the president does not have the power to supersede that law?
Senator, I can't issue advisory opinions at this table in cases or controversies and how they would come out. I can't do it. Wouldn't be responsible.
Is that law?
But every law this body passes, I take seriously. I respect this body. And nobody is above the law in this country, and that includes the President of the United States.
Okay. Love that. That was really good. I'm getting a real Superman feeling from this guy. By the way, when it said he'll make a good Supreme Court judge and Trump will make a good president, I'm sure that's what they meant up there in that mistake. This is a great article by Lindsey, by Paris Wade. Okay, and any more? I was really liking that. God bless Neil Gorsuch. This man is going to make this country better. He is pro-life, but is going to make sure that the rules on the book are upheld. His role is to interpret the law, not change it. We need more justices like Judge Gorsuch. Amen. Now let's get into this. Comey got crushed. Uh-oh. What did Wikileaks say this morning that proves he's lying? On Monday morning, FBI Director James Comey told the House Intelligence Committee that the Republican Party emails were not released in 2016. WikiLeaks said, no way, Jose Comey. You can't lie in these parts of town anymore. Do you think James Comey should be fired? Sound off below. Here's the moment from yesterday. But where's the proof? Oh, okay, here's what WikiLeaks said. Good. Let's go. Moment from yesterday.
Is there any evidence that Russia tried to hack other entities associated with the 2016 presidential campaign in addition to the DNC or Clinton campaign operatives?
Yes, many others.
Can you specify those others? Did that include the RNC? Did that include any of the other campaigns of candidates in the primaries, either Democrats or Republicans?
I think what we can say in an unclassified setting is what we have in the report, that there were efforts to penetrate organizations associated with the Republican Party, and that, I think that's what we said in the report, and that there were not releases of material hacked from any Republican-associated organizations.
But the hacking, the use of cyber tools as part of their broader, whether you call it hybrid warfare or information warfare campaigns, it was done to both parties.
Correct.
Okay. It was attempted on both, and only one it worked. WikiLeaks then took James Comey to town. Here's another video via Twitter. If Twitter takes it down, we don't have to see that again, do we? FBI, WikiLeaks says this. FBI Director Comey misled Congress today when he stated that emails on Republicans were not released during 2016. Here's the proof. Claim made today in U.S. House Intel Committee description that Republican emails were not released is false. Here is the link to the GOP emails that were leaked during the campaign. There just wasn't anything interesting in them. The emails being hacked were reported in 2016 according to the Gateway Pundit. Where are they? Are they here? What is this? Okay, I'm not downloading these things, but as you can see, there were, look, August 2015, 2015, 2015, 2015. This is all there. Everbritt, Gillette, Scott Gillette, Roland, Yvette Graham, subject, I don't know, right? I mean, county chairman training. So there were some hacks to the RNC, the Republicans. This election contains electronic letters of the party employees. Mostly they contain work conversations, documents and stuff, internal distribution. So that they did hack them, but there was just nothing interesting. No criminal activity. This is a video of Trey Gowdy tearing up Comey. Will make you feel better. I did this video, but let's do it.
Back, Mr. Gowdy's got a follow-up. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you and ranking membership for having this hearing. Mr. Chairman, you were talking about Russia long before it became fashionable to talk about Russia. If memory serves me correctly, you referred to Russia as possibly our greatest national security threat post 9/11. And as you know, Chairman, I come from a state with a fellow named Graham, who is also...
You know what? Before I play this, I just want to note, Wikileaks caught Trey Gowdy in a straight lie, saying that the RNC wasn't hacked. When we all know, and I remember now, them saying that they were hacked, but there was nothing important to swamp. Give Trey Gowdy a thank you in the comments for taking these corrupt swamp monsters down. Okay, let's play this.
No fan of Russia. Director Comey, Admiral Rogers, people in your line of work are incredibly respected. Both your current line of work and the work that you came from. And people in my line of work are not. And there's a reason. The justice system is respected, and the political process is not. So this is, while this hearing is important, what's really important is what you do after this hearing. And I want you to go find every single witness who may have information about interference, influence, motive, our response, collusion, coordination, whatever your jurisdiction is, wherever the facts may take you, though the heavens may fall, go do your jobs. Because nature abhors a vacuum. And right now, you can't answer most of the questions, either by policy, by law, or because the investigation has not been complete. Therefore, a vacuum exists, which people in my line of work are more than happy to fill. So I need you to fill. I need you to do it with all deliberate speed. But Director Comey, I think it's also important for my fellow citizens to take note of why the system that you come from, the one that I come from, is respected, and this system that I'm in now is not. What is hearsay?
It's information you don't know of your own personal knowledge, but learned from someone else. It's
an out-of-court statement offered to prove the truth of the matter asserted.
I was trying to be a little less lawyerly.
All right, well, we'll go with your answer. And it is almost never admissible in court. How about anonymous sources? When you were in the Southern District, could you ever call an anonymous source to testify in one of your proceedings? You couldn't even use hearsay unless there was some widely accepted exception. And what I've heard this morning in some cases is quadruple hearsay. So it would never, a newspaper article would never, ever be admitted as evidence in a courtroom. So the system we respect would laugh you out of court if you came in armed with a newspaper article. But in the political process, that's enough. Let me ask you this. Cross-examination. Why are you able to cross-examine witnesses in trial? Why do we have a right to confront witnesses?
Well, it's embedded in our Constitution, and the reason it makes great sense is it's the crucible out of which you get truth.
It is the single best way to elucidate the truth, to test and to probe and to challenge and to test someone's personal exposure to the facts. Cross-examination is the best tool that we have. And it is the single best way to elucidate the truth, to test and to probe and to challenge and to test someone's personal exposure to the facts. Cross-examination is the best tool that we have. Cross-examination is the best tool that we have. How do you cross-examine an anonymous source? How do you cross-examine hearsay? I hope that you go find every single witness that you need to talk to and examine every single document. People are counting on you two and your line of work to find the facts. And people are welcome to draw whatever conclusions they want from the facts. But when I hear the word evidence, as I've heard lots and lots this morning, let me ask you this, Director Comey. Are you familiar with any trials where one witness may have said the light was red and one witness may have said the light was green? Does that ever happen?
Yes, that's why you have a trial.
Does it ever happen where one bank teller said the assailant was 5'10" and one said the assailant was 6'2"?
Sure.
So that's evidence. If you got evidence he's 6'2" and evidence he's 5'11", he just can't be both. The light can't be red and green. So the word evidence, while fancy and legal, the reality is you find facts and then the finder of the fact can draw conclusions and inferences from those facts. So I wish you luck as you begin this process. It is all important. The fact that someone may have had a line of questions about leaks does not mean that they're not interested in all aspects of Russia. And vice versa, the fact that they may not have asked questions about leaks doesn't mean they're not interested in them. You have jurisdiction over all of it. So God bless you as you go on this journey for the facts. And then people can draw whatever conclusions they want. I hope that you will fill the vacuum that is created when y'all are not able to answer questions. With that, I would yield back to the chairman.
Gentleman yields back. Mr. Comey, this is my final list of questions here. I just want to make sure we get this on the record.
Please listen closely to this. If this is what I think it is, I was hoping to get this. I have it once, but I just couldn't. I have a lot of this testimony, but listen to this.
Do you have any evidence that any current Trump White House or administration official coordinated with the Russian intelligence services?
Not a question I can answer.
I figured you were going to say that, but I just wanted to make sure we got it on the record. How about counselor to the president, Kellyanne Conway?
It's the same answer. And as I said earlier, I constantly want to ask people, don't overinterpret the fact that I say I can't comment. I'm not going to comment on anybody.
Well, I think I understand that, but here's the challenge: is that you've announced that that you have this big investigation, but now you've got people that are involved in our government that are, the Secretary of State, for example. These are important players, and the longer this hangs out here, the bigger the cloud is. And I know that you're not going to tell me whether or not you have any evidence, but I can tell you that we don't have any evidence, and we're conducting our own investigation here. And if you have evidence, especially as it relates to people in the White House that are working in the White House or the administration, that would be something that we really should know about, and we should know about quickly. And so, if you can't give it to the entire committee, I hope you can at least give it to myself and Mr. Schiff, because there is a big gray cloud that you've now put over people who have very important work to do to lead this country. And so, the faster you can get to the bottom of this, it's going to be better for all Americans.
I understand. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, look at that face you left him with. Okay. Yeah, Trey Gowdy, the Pitbull Gowdy. Oh, by the way, alert. David Rockefeller died. What's next for the New World Order? Michael Rogers. This is the guy that was sitting next to him here while they were testifying. Okay, so that was it. That was Wikileaks crushing Comey with, basically lying, and this guy's awesome. Neil Gorsuch, how awesome is he? Love this guy. So, listeners, please share this on Facebook and Twitter. Also, comment below. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do subscribe. Also, hit the bell next to the subscription button so you get the breaking videos as they're made, so you know what's going on before anyone. And that's kind of fun. And if you like what we're doing here at Not Fake News, please like the video. It's important and it means a lot. Thank you, and I'll see you next time at Not Fake News. Forgot about my little cartoon. Bye, George. Can't wait to see you go, buddy. Jesus, it's coughing already. This is so real, we're not even going to take out the coughing. Not fake news.